streamline regulations, not add them.
Thank you. Candidate Tony Tidwell.
Okay, to keep this short, I don't think restricting people who are going to be drinking, they're going to be buying the beer and wine, whatever, through the week. I don't think restricting on Sunday is going to make them more holy or not. They're just going to buy it early enough so they can drink it on Sunday. I think it could affect our economy, just like it's been mentioned on some of the stores that are in the county that are not able to sell it. Now the people, the ones in the city are. I think we're going to try to make it more holy. The better thing would be for all the businesses to be shut down altogether on Sunday like it used to be, and people be able to spend time with their family, but we know that's not going to happen. So, as Commissioner, I would not stand in the way if that's what the public wanted, what most of the public wanted.
Thank you. Candidate Steve Taylor.
I don't know actually how much economic help Sunday alcohol sales would have. Of course, that's not really the question here. I think the question is if it's put on a referendum, it's up to the people to decide. If the commissioner calls for the referendum, this community, all we have to do is just vote no, and it won't happen. But I wouldn't stop a referendum that came forth. If the churches banded together, they may have enough power to stop Sunday alcohol sales. But it's the people's voice that really counts. And as commissioner, if it was put on a referendum, I would abide by whatever the people decide.
Thank you. This next question kind of takes us back to economic development, and we've already talked about that a little bit tonight. This question is for candidate Tracy Lewis, and it's kind of a two-part question. So try to be brief in the first part, and then you can answer the second part. But the first part is, how would you grade our economic development efforts and initiatives, A, B, C, or D? And then also as the follow-up, recently Bartow County was in the running for the Lowe's Distribution Center, which ended up locating in Floyd County. As Commissioner, how would you direct the Economic Development Department to create and ensure that these kinds of opportunities stay in Bartow County?
The first question, considering the economic recession that we've been in, that's kind of a hard one because everybody's been behind on economic development, but we have lost some in our region. So as far as a grade, I would have to say, A- maybe, but it's not all our fault or the economic development's fault or lack of their ideas or lack of their efforts. But with that being my highest priority, I want to be more involved in economic development than any county commissioner you've ever seen or heard of in this nation. And I don't want to go on taxpayer dollars, but if a company in Japan, international or somewhere away, wants to pay for us to come there and try to get them to come to Bartow County to provide jobs and to create, expand our tax base, then I think that's what we need to do. One of my ideas on economic development is to implement an economic development fund, or for lack of a better word, a closing the deal fund. I think that is necessary because Lowe's that you mentioned, pretty sure that is why Floyd County won out on that one, is they had a fund and were able to give a lot more incentives, a lot more abatements, and maybe even free land. And no, we don't want to give free land. But if that is necessary for us to give them cheaper land or fair market value land, and that deal, closing the deal fund is in place, we could have the Lowe's here. We can have other industries here, which will provide jobs and provide food for our families.
Candidate Mike Bearden.
I've been to Japan. I called on Nojizaki, Matsusa, Panasonic, Yokogawa. I brought them to Peachtree City, Georgia while I was down there in an industrial park there. I've been in the industrial development world for years. I understand mistakes that can be made. I've made them. I understand things that need to be done. Folks, the future is so promising. We've got a beautiful place. We've got a wonderful county. I came back here 12 years ago to home, where I was raised, after 30 years of experience elsewhere, because this is a special place. I want it to remain a special place. We've got an opportunity to have it a special place here, not here. We're at a turning point in our county's history. We've been very fortunate to have what we've had the last 20 years, but the future is so much different, and we've got so much promise that we have an opportunity here to set the stage for our children and our children's children. Jobs are sort of like coaching Little League Baseball. Winning solves a lot of problems. Winning for Bartow County right now is jobs. And what we need is experience, we need energy, we need vision to bring that forward. We must reevaluate everything we've been doing. We don't sit here and wait on them to come, we go get them. That's what I'm going to do as your commissioner. I'm going to go get the jobs. I'm not going to wait for them to come look at us. I'm going to make them understand that they need to be here.
You were out of time.
So, Mr. Bearden, what would you rate our current economic development efforts and initiatives?
As compared to what? ABCD?
Yes.
Not good enough.
Thank you. Candidate Tony Tidwell.
Okay. I'd rate them as an A, and the position I've been in, building official for the past 28 years, over the previous years, we've had the chamber contacting us and the engineering department, the zoning department, wanting information about our process, how long it's going to take. We've not had that recently, and it's because of the economy. I think our economic development is trying to do the best they can with it, but they just don't have anything to work with right now. I think they've done good about courting and getting this Lake Point down on the south end. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of satellite industries off of that, and I think we're just waiting for that turning point with the economy. I think they were doing as good as can be done right now with this economy like it is.
Candidate Steve Taylor.
As far as rating them, I'd give them an A+. If you knew our economic development team, Melinda Lemon and her staff, and all the work that they do to attract industry and to visit the industries that are already here, and all the work that's going on around Lake Point, we're sitting on a powder keg of a lot of employees down there, and I've heard numbers from 4,000 all the way up to maybe 20 counting the part-time workers. So their effort would have to have, I mean, they got high marks, and they're great people and hard workers. They're understaffed, just like every department in Bartow County, but their effort would rate an A+ with me. Now, the reason we didn't get the Lowe's Distribution Center is it's got a lot to do with wages. There's 600 jobs that went to Floyd County, and they gave away a lot of incentives to get that. But their wages, if you check, I don't think they're much around $10 or maybe just a little bit more. But on the other hand, what if we got a Caterpillar that Athens just got? Those are $26, $28 an hour jobs with a lot of inventory that can be taxed, a lot of machinery that can be taxed. And I know Athens gave away a lot too, but I'd a lot rather have a $28 an hour job than a $10 an hour job. And we're sitting on a great prospective piece of property up in at Cass White Road. The city and the county owns together. But to give away some land and where we are in our location for those wage jobs, and I think that's really important because we need jobs.
You are out of time.
We need good paying jobs. Thank you.
Candidate Mike Abernathy.
Thank you. I'll pick up right where Steve did. I believe would give us an A+. Only if you take what they're doing there with their economic development department, there's 1,500 economic projects in the USA each year where they're seeking to relocate. That's on an average, seeking to relocate to a different area of the country. And out of those, we have done real well given what we have when you figure the whole 15,000 people out there that are buying for those jobs. So out of that, we picked up a few. But like Steve said, we need those professional ones. And would I give some land away if I was a county commissioner to get a Caterpillar plant? I'd give the whole tract of land away because